We all go a little mad. Forget you.
You are under darkness.
Here's Johnny.
It's all for you.
Hello and welcome to the Horror Hour, the place where we discuss, debate, and disagree on all things for this episode, Dragula. I'm one of the co-hosts here, Yutaka. I'm joined with my favorite, Liam.
Hello.
Every time, that's so weird. And today, really excited because we have a special guest, Formelda Hyde.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I'm so excited. And so today we're just going to have a fun interview and get to know more about Formelda. And also let's appreciate this stunning look.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I feel so gorgeous too.
Yes, you should. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness. So first off, one of the questions is, what was it like being on the show?
Oh my God. There is so many words to describe being on the show. One, I'll say it's fucking scary. A lot of people don't understand how scary it is. It is terrifying. Everything you guys see on the show of them being all mischievous and we don't know where we're at, that is all 100% real. Like, we don't know what is happening when we go on set that day. We don't know if we're all being up for extermination. We don't know if we're going to be dropped off in a haunted maze. Like, we didn't know anything. It's terrifying. You never know what the Belay brothers have in store for us, and they're all just like kind of creeping along watching us in torment. It's hilarious, but it was so much fun.
Oh my gosh.
That's brilliant.
Oh, go ahead, Liam.
No,
Sorry.
I was
That
like-
sounds like pure torture, but also, yes, sounds like fun. So I am also curious then, as the season's been playing out, have you been watching it?
Of course I have. It is one of my favorite shows, and even being a part of it, it is even crazier to watch, just because watching the episodes, it seems like you're watching your friends in a reality TV show game. And it's so funny because obviously we know my fate. I didn't get to see much of what happens. So watching it, I'm like eating popcorn and stuff because I didn't know what happened on set. So I'm watching this all for the first time.
Oh,
And it's so
wow.
funny. Yeah, it is so funny. We got little snippets of what happened here, what happened there, but everybody kind of threw everything along like it wasn't that big of a deal. But then going when watching the episodes, I'm like, y'all made this seem like this wasn't as big of a deal as it really was. So it's hilarious and it's so much fun to watch.
That's I mean, it seems like it's been a big deal. So that's way to play it cool.
Right?
So I'll have to ask then, since you have been watching, obviously, because of your fate, was there anything, now that you've seen them, was there anything that you were like, "Oh, God damn it, I wish I could have done that"?
Oh, you know what? All of the fright feet, like the garlic and what was it? Was it pig's blood?
I think
I
so.
really
Yes.
wanted to.
Yeah.
Yes, I really wanted to do that. I know it sounds super crazy, but I don't do that on my. I don't try weird things at home and stuff like that on my own. So knowing that they got to do that, it looked like so much fun. Even though like everybody was so tortured in that, it looked like so much fun. And I was like, fuck, I really wanted to do that, like so bad. I really wanted to do that.
I don't know how anyone could want to just eat garlic.
Right?
I mean,
Garlic is in our
Barely
diet
handle it on
here,
my
so.
chips.
Right?
I know as some of the contestants too have been posting some looks. Actually, I also saw your Hellraiser look. Your Pinhead was sickening.
Thank you. I don't know why I didn't think of doing Hellraiser before this episode, but when I got home, I kind of was being a little sneaky and I was doing my own horror icons reimagined without people knowing. So I ended up doing Pinhead, I ended up doing Leatherface, and I ended up doing Pennywise. And that was kind of my like little retribution of going home, obviously, on one of my favorite challenges and stuff like that, being such a horror nerd. So I don't know why I never thought of doing Pinhead, and I beat myself up every day for it because I think I would have definitely been in the top with that look.
To be fair, I loved your saw
you
look.
know.
I got your saw look. Like I got the needles. I got the reference to the obvious the saw film. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah.
Where obviously the needles are involved. So I was
Saw
like,
two.
so when you came out, I was like, yes. So I was a bit
Yes.
good that you were in the bottom because I got it, but
Oh, I know. It was so sad to see it, but things happen. And like the Belay brother said, someone has to go home first. And,
yeah.
it was already a dream being on for even one episode. So I'm not beating myself up over it. And I still really enjoy the look. Every time I watch it, I really enjoy it. It's such a fun look.
Well, and I think now from it as well, I think in terms just anyone who goes on any of these shows, you're given that platform in terms of you can let it make or break you. And I mean, you've been active on social media, you've been really promoting all these looks. And I think, were you working with the Boulets at the Globe for a while? Or I think someone said that, I don't know.
I wasn't working with them. I do know, like, right after the show aired and stuff, they had us, obviously we all went to the premiere, then they asked us if we wanted to go to obviously the Halloween ball, which not a lot of my season 4 sisters and them, they didn't show up, but that's fine because I really would have liked that. I know we all had the chance to go, but it was me, Saint, Coco, and Sigourney, and Hosa, and we had a really good time. So they like keeping us in close knits together and trying to get us together as much as possible, because for some of us, being on the show and especially being like at the premiere, that's going to be the last time we're all going to be in the same room together, unless the Boulets
That's true.
put us together. And so I take any chance that the Boulet brothers give me. Like, if they're inviting me to something, I'm like, my first ticket over there to LA, getting there, being front row seats.
That's
I just want
smart.
Yeah, it is. And like, I love it. And I absolutely love being around with the fans and all the people who enjoy Dragula just as much as I do. So you know what? I'm always there for them.
I'm curious now, though, also that you've been on the show. People lust after you. Let's be serious.
Yes,
How's that
definitely. Oh my God, that has been, it's such a weird experience because I've never been the type to ever really get those kind of compliments and stuff. And I've been I've been always super shy. And then once I got on the show, I mean, when I first walked in through the door and everybody had seen me outside of my drag, everybody was gushing over me. And I'm just like, ooh, I kind of like this. I'm like, because I'm not used to getting everybody all over me and stuff. And so seeing the fans react just as much, it was hilarious. And now that's where Formelda thought has evolved and stuff, because I'm really letting the girls have it now. Now that I know people like it, I'm like, all right, y'all created this monster, you gotta deal with it.
I love it.
And I'm not getting any younger, so
I mean,
Take
hey,
that coin. Show it off.
right?
Do what you need to do.
Yes.
so since being on the show, then have you gotten to do any real fun gigs that I'm just curious.
Yes, I there's been a bunch of things. I'm not very much of the live performer. I mean, as a lot of people already know from the show and stuff, but honestly, gigs and stuff like that, they all come in different shapes and forms. And for me, like, I've been introduced into creating an own makeup line and to making possible wigs and stuff like that, like a wig line. So that is super fun because I mean, I never thought I would have had a platform like this. I mean, I knew going onto the show that would have given me some oomph where I was already at, but knowing all of these possibilities that have been coming up, it is so it's wild because the Boulets say that when you go on the show, they give you the platform, you do what you need to do with it. They don't have a requirement. They say if you don't want to be a performer, don't be a performer. If you want to be somebody who mainly goes online, go online, do your thing. They're like, just make sure you live it up to the fullest. So I know, like, a lot of people, since they don't see me out, they're like, oh, he's not doing anything, with his time. And it's like, it's behind the scenes. And like I said, these gigs and stuff that people like to talk about come in so many different forms. And for me, these are gigs to me because I'm doing all the work and stuff. So it's exciting, and I can't wait for people to kind of see a new side of drag like this. That's why the Boulets had me on, was because this was a new take. This is a new age of drag that not a lot of people are seeing in other reality shows. So it's cool to be one of the first ones to be a part of it.
I mean, I think that's smart too. Wow, wig on,
Yeah.
makeup, all that work,
Mhm.
network.
Right?
My goodness.
Yes, it's very exciting.
Well, and I know because I did see, I mean, we look that you do have an OnlyFans where you like show your looks and how you
Yes.
create them. And I think that's smart.
It is. I've always wanted to do something like that. And like before I started doing drag and stuff, I was always the makeup artist. I was always the person making props. And we always did, like me and my family, we would always do huge haunted houses for Halloween. We would make everything from scratch. So I always wanted that platform where I was just like sharing things with people and showing how I do things and just releasing creativity that you don't necessarily see a lot in the world. And so I was like, you know what, this is a good platform. I know it has a little bit of an image to it already, but I know in a lot of people when they say you have an OnlyFans, it's like they give you those side eyes and stuff like that. And it's like I just wanted to show people that there's so many different ways you can use your platform and the art that you do and really not only support me as an artist, but then it also gets to help other people do something, because there's always little versions of me in the world, and I want to make sure those little versions have something to look at and not always something that is so costly or so hard that nobody can ever figure anything out. So that was my main goal.
I
Such a
love
smart
that.
idea as well, though.
Yeah, and it's working so well. I mean, it's such a cool community. A lot of people of like a lot of my fans on there, they get to text me privately, they get to know more about me. The inbox is always open for people to text me, and they always want to know things. I'm like, you know what, let's do it. Let me show you. Doing lives and stuff on there is going to be so much fun, and then giveaways and all that. It's a blast. It's a big old party over there.
Damn. That's actually really awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really what makes any performer like really, succeed is having that the access in a sense, that because fans want to get to know the people they see and the people that you were fans of. So that's very smart.
It is, yeah. And especially with me not lasting so long in the show, I felt a little like I just felt a big space that I had to fill, because a lot of people really enjoyed just the little bit of time I did have, but also a lot of people missed out. They were like, we wanted to see more. We want to know who you are. And I'm like, you know what? Just because the show's it's done and things went how it's with doesn't mean that it's the end for me. And I have such a long life ahead of me too. I'm like, let's start this now. Let's just get it going, because I only have a spotlight on me for so long before people aren't gonna have that ambition to want to know anything about me. So I had to get it pretty quickly.
I mean, work. Get like it is such a smart idea. So because obviously you're showing off how you make your looks and all that kind of stuff on it. Is there any of the looks that you made that you're a bit gutted that no one got to see on the show?
Not so far. A lot of the looks that I post like my unaired runways, they're always posted there early. So people do get to see like the looks that I was planning on doing there first, and fans who get to see it, they get to see it first. They get to see how the outfit was made, how I even edit my photos to how I do the setup for my backdrops and all that, because I do everything myself. So it's a lot of work. And I'm like, you know what? Let's show it all off. Let's show the behind the scenes. Let's show how I take the photos. Let's show how I make the outfit. That way people really get an understanding of like how much work actually goes into a lot of this and what a lot of us actually do. So, and I do know like there will be looks that I'll post on there that nobody will see unless they are strictly on there.
Smart as well. But that's really, wow, that's really unique in terms of like showing all of that, because I know a lot goes into drag. One, it may also, one, if you're not creative, it can be a struggle. So it's always helpful to have somebody to be able to give you that guide. And also it can be really expensive if you don't know what you're doing. So I think that's really great.
Yeah, and that was with me a lot of the time, as I was just buying things that I would see other people using, and it would be something that I didn't need, and then I spent $100 on a set of light bulbs that I didn't need for a set that doesn't work for me, and I'm like, oh shoot, I wish I would have had someone to tell me that. So a lot of the things, It's household items. It's stuff you can go to a dollar store and find, and you can transform and make it amazing. So it was like that. That this is everything I wanted little me to have when I was trying to do all this stuff. So it is just it. That is the dream come true. Honestly,
That's really cool. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like really, really cool. Because it's we're in an age now where obviously everything's on YouTube and everything's shown, but obviously it's always the popular aspect of things that are shown. It's never the underground things. So I think people like you who are coming forward and providing that for people, it is a real boost, and it's a real help for people that are more interested in the type of drag that you do. So
yeah,
I applaud
exactly.
it.
Thank you. Yeah, and I know a lot of people too. They get a little upset with the OnlyFans being something that is like a members only set, but people have to also understand too is one, I don't charge a lot. I think it's like $5 a month. Like that's not a lot. And even then, if people say like, oh, it's a little too much, I'm like, you know what? Let me help you out here. But also, people have to understand too that I also have to make money off of this as well, even if it's just a little bit, because it does cost money. Even though I do like find cheap alternatives, it does cost money in the long run, and I don't have a very much of that. So I like to make things as cheap as possible, but it's still money that I'm out at the end of the day. So
well, I mean,
having that is good.
It's a brand, it's a business, and I mean, you've got bills just like all of us. So
oh yes. Yes.
So I applaud that. I should have looked, because now this is silly asking if you have a website as well where you sell merch. My God, this is how we are not professional people.
Honestly, no, you're good. You're fine. I do have a Redbubble account where I do have merch and stuff. It's not a whole lot, but it's getting there. We're working with local artists and stuff like that that's gonna get stuff out. But yeah, it's all coming together. All coming together.
Well, yeah, shoot us that link, and I'll also put that in the video and also down below, because honestly, we just want to, I think our biggest thing that we've really loved just watching on Dragula, even with the drama, we just love drag, and I love horror. So knowing you're also a horror nerd, we're going to talk a little bit then. I just want to help support, and I just want to uplift, because you all do so much for me as a fan that I just what can I do? And so this is just something Liam and I really, we love. We bring on drag performers because obviously nobody wants to watch two fat gay guys critique drag. I totally get it. We're not stupid.
I would love to do it. I just don't have the time, need, or energy. Like I don't have the talent. It looks so fun, but also very uncomfortable and time consuming.
Oh yes, it is so uncomfortable.
The idea of a corset sends me into palpitations, so I'm out.
Oh my God, you're telling me? Oh my God, yeah. I remember right before I went on to Dragula, I did my first corset, and then I was like, oh, this is fine, everything will be good. And I get on the show and we're wearing it for like 12 plus hours, and I'm like, I'm not fine, nothing is good. I was like, get me out of here. We got scars on our backs and stuff from it. I'm like, this is not fine. Nothing is fine about this. Who thought this was okay? And here's Sigourney with this little waist. I'm like, I hate you. Like, we can't all look as good as you all the time, Sigourney.
But who did you flirt with anybody from the show? I gotta ask a sleazy question like that.
I did. And you know what? It's funny because I think they kind of cut out this contestant saying that we had a little crush and stuff like that on each other. And I'm just going to air it out now because I know it's going to get out at some point. Surprisingly, it was me and Zava.
I knew it.
Yes, it was me and Zava. All that hate. All of us in that bus together when we were going on to our extermination. We were all by ourselves, and they were like, you can't talk about anything about the show. And so we're like, well, what the hell are we supposed to talk about then? And then Zava was like, this is our first date then. And I was like, okay, I guess we and you are here together. I guess why not? And so we got to know each other, and you know what? Yeah, we had a little thing, and it was cute. But it was like all that little hate towards each other. It turned into a very good friendship. So I was very thankful for that.
Amazing. Honestly, it was very interesting because like Liam and I were both turned off on Zava until we got to sit down with Zava. I'm like, oh, well, we were just wrong.
Yes, they are just such a sweetheart, and they're amazing. I think a lot of people had that notion about Zava because Zava came in on fire from day one, just on fire. But then, getting to know them and them opening up, and the longer they got on the show, it was the longer that they realized who they really are, and it was just so awesome to see that. And like I said, they're such a sweetheart. They care about everybody and anybody. I mean, you kind of see it through the episodes of them having the little pep talks with like Hoso and Betty and stuff, and it like that's Zava to the T. Like they just care a lot about who they're with, the environment, and just bringing everybody up. It's amazing to see it. I have nothing but good words to say about. I mean, pretty much everybody in the cast. Everybody in the cast. We were all just. It was such an amazing team to work with of people, and it was so weird because obviously the whole show centers around bringing lives from every part of the world and putting them in this pressure cooker and seeing how we would do, and then just seeing how well we all meshed together was just insane.
I love that. Liam, I have a couple more, but Liam, do you have any?
No, go on.
Every time we do this, I feel like I'm always talking and Liam's just like, But well, since we're going to talk horror, then let's do a little bit of that to get to know you. What is your favorite horror film that has been released in this past year?
Ooh, in this past year. Okay, let me think. It has been a crazy year. Let me think. I haven't been too big on movies recently. I'm trying to let me think.
How about a show?
Oh, okay. So I will say the show is the Chucky series. The new Chucky series has been amazing. I was very surprised with it actually. Like I was a little like weird with the TV show when I first heard it because I'm a huge Chucky fan. Like that and Hellraiser are like my top tier 2 favorite horror movies like series. And I was a little nervous because the last film that was released was a little with like the whole cult stuff and all that. I was like, it was a little weird to me. But the series really just brought it full circle for me. And one of my like drag icons is Jennifer Tilly, and seeing her more on screen just absolutely gave me everything I needed. It's literally every Tuesday I'm like on my phone watching it, like seeing all the different cool little Easter eggs and all the little nods to Glenn and Glenda and all that. It's been amazing. I love that show so much.
I can't wait for the finale this Tuesday. I'm like on pins and needles. Who's gonna die?
Yeah.
Who's gonna live?
Literally, I was like, oh my God.
I wouldn't know. I'm in the UK. We don't get it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh no.
Sucks to be you, Liam.
It really does.
If they kill off Kyle, I'm gonna riot. You did not just bring her back to take her away.
Her or Andy Barkley, I don't want to see them dead like at all. Kill off Nika for all I care. I don't care about her, but I was like, don't kill off Kyle or Andy Barkley. I could not handle it.
Those two are hysterical too outside of the franchise. I love them.
Yeah, they're amazing. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of like a movie though. I don't know if there's any movies recently. A lot of them have been I'm trying to think. I can't think of any at the moment, at least for movies anyways. But I think I'm just like a little like
The Conjuring 3.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. You know what? Actually, I was a little surprised by it. It wasn't my favorite in the series, but it was good because of the different approach they had. I liked the more detectiveness to it. I enjoyed it though. I thought it was okay. Oh, what's that one with the twin? I forget that one with the evil twin. It's like that new one that just came out.
Malignant?
Malignant. That was the one
I
really
loved it, but I don't get why people hated it. It was so camp. It was amazing.
You know what? People hated it because I think it was they didn't understand that it was making fun of the horror genre. It was literally a big slap to the face of the horror genre. It was saying all these different stereotypes we give the horror genre. I think that's why people were like, what? I don't get it. And I'm like, how do you not get it? I was like, it's pure camp and pure like horror movie. I was like, how do you not? It's so
I loved it. I was I was raving about it. We actually just did our year review, and George put that on his one of the movies he hated the most past year. I go, well, you're stupid. That's horrible. How dare you?
Oh my god, that was such a good movie. Oh my god.
I apologize for my fellow Brit.
That's why we didn't invite him. Well, he doesn't even really like Dragula, so there's a problem there. But he,
Yeah.
but then to close it out, let's ask them then. What is your favorite horror movie?
Oh, okay. This is easy. The first and second Hellraiser. They are my two favorite movies. You cannot go wrong. It is my literal dream of being in drag. Like, I mean, my promo was inspired by Hellraiser, and then all my other looks, I've done countless Cenobite looks. Like, I just feel like I fit in with that whole universe so well. And I've read all the comics, I've read the books. Like, I am just so invested into the lore of the universe. It is wild. It is so crazy. I was so sad when I first saw the second season, first episode of Dragula, and it was the Cenobite challenge, because I'm like, oh, I would have wanted to do that. I would have killed to do that so much. That was such a fun challenge. Oh, so good.
I can't wait for Hellraiser to come back. I'm
the
so
series.
excited.
Yes, I'm so excited for that.
Well, and there's still a movie too.
And is there?
Yeah,
So
Hulu's doing the movie. HBO Max is getting a series, and I'm like, okay.
My wig's almost falling off. Oops. I threw my head back so far into excitement that my wig almost just flew back. I'm so excited. Literally, that's how much of a nerd I am for Hellraiser. I'm such the biggest fan.
I went to bat for Hellraiser with Ben and George. I made them watch the first Hellraiser for the very first time, because we're all in different age groups. And so I mean, I grew up with these, and they hated it. And I was like, how dare you?
How dare you?
Kids.
They're like, the only person I liked
do?
was Julia. I go, huh? I mean, I love Julia, but
I love Julia too. But
how dare you?
God, out of all the Cenobites, come on now. The female Cenobite has just been like a dream drag cosplay for me. Like, that is in the works. I am so excited for that. But
that's exciting.
Yes, insane.
They have no taste. I can't explain that.
Nope. Anybody who hates the Hellraiser series, like, what is wrong with you?
It's all about
Zero
the pleasure
taste.
and the pain, and I'm sorry, but Doug Bradley's voice.
Oh my gosh, yes. I recently got a cameo from him. My friend got me a little cameo from him, and it was a dream come true. I was like, oh my god, his voice still sounds the same. He still looks the same, just a little bit older. And I'm like, he's just so amazing too. I watch all of his live streams on Instagram. Just so wholesome for being the Hell Priest. Just so wholesome.
Amazing. I love it. Well, I just want to say thank you for joining. We really appreciate this.
Of course.
And before we go, do you have anything to plug that we're already going to put down below? But
right now, the biggest things are my OnlyFans and my Instagram. I'm posting all of my unseen runways. So if you want to see them early, you can go on there. I'll always post them on Twitter and Instagram when I post them early. Today, I just posted my Nosferatu beach party look. So that's something you can go look. And then, like I said, everything else, it's all Twitter, Formelda Hyde 666. I'm very constantly posting on there as well. So just all the socials, they're all pretty much the same. You type in Formelda Hyde, I'll be the first one up there.
That's probably very true. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, thank you. And to just everyone, thanks for joining, and bye.
Yeah. And goodbye.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour. See you next time.